Hi, I'm Felonice with PB Parenting Magazine. I'm here today with the South Florida Science Center and Aquarium. We have a full crew with us today. We have Kaley, Kristian, and Veronica. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi. So we are here to talk about science camp today. I understand, based on your website, which has a lot of great information, parents should go check it out, that you guys are doing a virtual camp for the first few weeks of June. Can someone tell me about virtual camp and the daily schedule and how that will work?
Yeah, so our virtual camps kind of came into the picture when we didn't really know at what time we were going to be opening. And since we were kind of one of the first people to really push forward with the virtual camp, we really still want to push those. So it's going to be very different from a traditional camp experience in that you're not going to be here at the Science Center, but we really wanted to capture those key things about camp and still make sure that this can happen even if you're not spending the day with our counselors and teachers. So camp is actually going to be split into 2 sessions per day. It's going to be a morning session and an afternoon session. During those sessions, it's very similar to what you would get in the classroom with our science education team, but those science educators are just going to have to deliver their sciences virtually, go through whatever the topic is depending on the week that we have, or the theme that we have for that week. And then from there, we actually will give them a sort of a project, really something to get them out of their seats, away from the computer screen and out into the world safely in their backyard, whether it's going to look for bugs or look for different household items to complete a craft or all sorts of different things. And then when they come back in the afternoon, we can study what we've done and kind of compare it to the rest of their campers, ask questions to the teachers if they had any trouble, and really kind of still get that educational experience that we want while still trying to make it really fun and interactive. And one of the biggest things that we want to do is our Camp in the Box thing, which I know we'll talk about a little bit later, but really helps us up the interactivity level there.
Awesome, awesome. I love that, you're trying to get them pulled away from the screen, so that's really great. How much parent involvement is there? As a mom, and I'm trying to juggle watching the kids and working at the same time, how much involvement do I need to have?
I would say that our goal is to make it so that there's as little parent involvement as possible, because we know that for the last 2 months, everybody's been stuck inside with the kids and having to come up with ideas and help them with their schoolwork. And so what we're trying to do is take the creativity and the effort away from the parents so they can have a little bit of a break like they would if they were coming to camp at the Science Center. So something that we're trying to do is have a social aspect of camp too, where we're monitoring the kids, but letting them speak to each other and still be involved in groups. The Camp in the Box helps a lot too, so that the parents don't have to find the materials themselves or order them. We're giving everything to them so that they're already provided with all of the things they're going to need throughout the week. So they'll pick up the box before the camp begins and then be able to utilize it throughout the week. And I know that Veronica will talk about it too a little bit more later. And then also the projects are going to be things that they can do mostly on their own. So for example, one of the camp weeks that I'm planning, one of the ideas that we have is go outside and make a map of your backyard. So as long as they're in a safe area and maybe the parents have to supervise a little bit, it's mostly the kids going around and finding things and doing it on their own, because we want to encourage them to be creative without having to rely on adults as much.
Awesome, awesome. Now, you and Kristian both talk about this Camp in a Box. As a mom, I don't like to go shopping, so tell me more about what's in this box.
Yeah, so Camp in the Box basically is for the week. We are probably going to be doing the Friday before the whole week starts. So we are going to be putting all the materials that the kids, and if the parents want to help, what they're going to need for that week. So everything's going to be kind of labeled and separated, okay, Monday we're going to be making bridges. So take out the bag that says bridges. And then this is what they're going to be using for their craft time, and kind of doing it with the educator on the Zoom call as well. So obviously there are things that they have at home. So scissors and paper and stuff that they can get at home, but we'll be providing some more things.
Very cool, very cool. Now, at the end of June, physical camp starts back up again. You guys, my kids have gone to your camp. It's a great camp. What is going to look different from previous years for parents like me who have sent their kids? What's different this year versus previous years?
Yeah, we are in a tricky situation of trying to keep things as similar as they used to be, with incorporating a lot of the new things that we kind of all have to adjust to. So as far as the camp experience goes, we try to keep that as similar as possible in the years past. So we're still going to have all those same camp elements. You know, the kids are going to be able to do multiple science lessons per day. They're going to be able to make some crafts that go along with those different topics. They're still going to get a chance to take a brain break and go outside for PE, explore the science center as much as we can. But all of this has to be done with safety in mind, and safety has always been our #1 priority. So with this, we are just going to be putting in those social distancing measures as much as possible. Kind of the biggest difference is really just reducing our camp group size. We reduced it from, usually we get about 25, sometimes even more kids in a group. With everything that's going on, you really can't have that many kids in a group. So we're still going to have lots of fun, but just in a much more contained environment. So just really intimate, which is also lends to some really beneficial things. You know, it gives us a chance to get more one-on-one time with the students that maybe required a little bit more help during those science lessons. So we're always trying to look for the positive in those things. And we're still really excited. You know, it's still going to be the same camp that the kids have loved. If you've been to our camp before, you know that we are jam-packed from the moment that they're here to the moment they go home. There's always something that they're doing. We're going to try and keep that too, but just make sure that we're keeping everyone safe while we do it.
Oh, great. That sounds really good. And the outside, you guys have finished the outside backyard. I guess it's called a backyard. It looks great. So I'm sure that you guys will be utilizing that a lot this summer.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what's the ideal age range for your camp, for both virtual and physical?
So we have scaled back on the age range that we had. So before it would start at 4 years old, and now we're going to have it so that it's 7 to 9 and then 10 to 12-year-olds. So they'll still be split up into a younger and an older group, and we'll be doing that for both virtual and in-person camp. But within that, we'll have several groups of both age ranges. So it'll still be the smaller group sizes, but with those ages in them.
Great, great. And then Kristian, earlier you mentioned some themes. Who wants to talk about the different themes, virtual and physical, for the camps?
I can do that. So for the virtual camps, we have the 3 weeks that we're doing. The first one is the Innovation Challenge. That one is like an engineering one. We're going to be talking about bridges, what kind of different bridges there are, different types of engineers, and going more in depth with that. So that one's really cool. That one, again, 7 to 12. And then June 8th, which would be the second week of June, we are doing Get Amped, which I'm very excited about because we tested this new music software and stuff like that, and it's like amazing. So kind of give it like a different thing than what we've been doing before. So it's like the science behind music. They get to produce their own music essentially with the software that they have and that they can get at home as well. And then for the third week of June, which is June 15th, they're doing In My Backyard, which Kaley was talking about. This is basically everything that everything it has to offer in your backyard, everything from the Florida ecosystem and anything that's like living outside your door, basically. Something easy for them to do at home. So that's the virtual summer camps.
Awesome, awesome. And the physical camps, so you have certain themes for there. I know in the past there's been like Minecraft and tech camps. Are you guys doing that this year as well?
So for the in-house camps, which are going to start June 22nd, the first theme is going to be blocks coding. This is a newer theme. We're trying to spice it up a little bit more, get away from like the Minecraft, see if the kids like this one better. Blocks coding is the Roblox. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes.
Oh,
definitely. My kids like that one too.
Yeah, so this one is a very popular gaming thing, but we're going to make it educational, of course, like we did with Minecraft, and we're going to dive into coding and how Roblox kind of essentially does all that stuff. So that's kind of like a tech theme as well. And then June 29th is going to be Mindbender Academy. And this one's really cool too, because this one, they're going to be talking about illusions, puzzles, and like tricks that your mind plays with you sometimes when you're looking at a picture, and kind of the science aspect about that as well. And then we have Makey Makey. I think Kristian wants to explain that one. He knows that one a little bit better than I do.
So our Makey Makeys are really fun. Essentially, it's a way to connect the digital world to the real world. It operates the same way as any like external USB device, such as like a keyboard and a mouse. But it actually comes with these little terminals that, using different alligator clips, you can actually connect to the world and use that to control your computer. one of the key examples in the logo of the Makey Makey is the banana. You can actually use different bananas since those are actually conductive. You can use those as your arrow keys. You can set up bananas on your table and do the up, down, left, right using that, or you can actually program different keyboard keys, just like all the letters that you have, the numbers, the function buttons. The kids get really creative with it. We've done some similar things in the past where we've actually used Makey Makeys to have kids build their own virtual controllers that they can use for different games. So it's really exciting and fun using those Makey Makeys. They get some really, really creative and interesting things because anything that's conductive in the world is fair game. They can use it.
Awesome, awesome. And then recently, this past weekend, you guys opened up back up to the public. That was very exciting. Anything you want to share about, you know, exhibits or how things are working when you come and visit the Science Center versus like before COVID?
Yeah, so we are very excited to have our doors open. It's been a long time for the guests and definitely a long time for us. A lot of us were just really itching to come back to work and get to see everyone's faces. So we did open this past week. At first, it was kind of a slow opening, but right now we've come up with some really cool and innovative ways to really open up our entire space. So when you come, it's going to feel like not very much is closed off or restricted. You know, we are still taking our safety measures very seriously. So we do have things such as like a one-way traffic pattern and certain interactive exhibits are down. But we really tried to spice it up with adding new things. We have a brand new outdoor amphitheater that we've been doing shows every hour on the hour. So if you're coming in, you can actually see some of those really cool interactive live shows with our education staff. We're also including our mini golf in our admission. So we do have our beautiful conservation course, which is a full 18-hole mini golf course. And that will really keep the kids entertained for a long period of time. And thankfully the weather has been mostly cooperative, so people have been able to kind of take advantage of that. We just started back up on our planetarium shows, which is definitely one of the most requested things to bring back because we're one of the only planetariums in our local area, so people love seeing those planetarium shows. And one of the new projects that we actually have been working on, our education team has developed these really cool social distancing button pushers that we've 3D printed in-house. And that actually allows people to interact with a lot of the exhibits without actually having to touch it with their hands. So again, really focusing on the safety and making sure that people are trying to be as socially distant as possible, but not taking away from that interactive experience. So we're glad they came up with that. The customers love it. And again, just another good way to stay safe and have fun.
Awesome, great. Well, that's a great idea. Even if you're not doing camp this summer, if you just need it, camp mommy needs to plan a field trip. Yeah. You know, it sounds like a great way to spend the afternoon and keep those kids busy. If parents are interested in the virtual or physical camps, how do they sign up?
So to sign up, you will go to www.sfsciencecenter.org, and then under our education tab, it'll say camps in all cap, and you go there and you can sign right up on that.
Awesome. Well, that sounds really easy. I love it when it's online.
Super easy.
Yes. So, well, you guys stay safe and we'll definitely see you soon. And thank you guys for spending the afternoon chatting with me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.